After high school, I actually studied at American Musical Dramatic Academy, and I studied musical theater. And I'm excited to share my new single, Bad Bad, with Grammy-nominated producer Riley Urich and talented
Bad, bad.
songwriter. Yeah, Bad Bad. This song.
So, welcome and welcome back to Music Money, where we dive deep into the business of music, educating independent artists on how to monetize on the music business. Today, we have a very special show with a special guest who is a songwriter, an entrepreneur, a dancer, and an entertainer. And her name is Bianca. So, Bianca,
Hi.
welcome to Music Money, and we
Thank
appreciate you
you.
responding to our invitation. And we look forward to having a great conversation with you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you
So,
so much for having me. I'm happy to
no,
be here.
thank you for responding to our invitation. It's definitely an honor to have you here. We've been listening. I've been listening to your music, and I fell in love the minute I saw your profile, especially your professionalism, and a lot of artists kind of overlook those little details. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're looking forward to these conversations. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right in here. So we're just gonna do it
Okay.
basically like interview style. I ask you a question and give you the floor to just let us know and about yourself and get to know you as a little bit.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
for, yes, definitely. So for the first question we have for you here, so tell us a little bit about how you got into the music business and what inspired you to pursue in this path.
Yes, that's a fantastic question. Music has always been in my life since a very young age. I actually started songwriting at the age of 8. One of my father's best friends, named El Baca, taught me how to
Oh wow.
songwrite. Yeah, and he would come over and he would just teach me everything that he knew about the music industry, about improvising when it comes to melody. And he just spent so much time with me and basically taught me how to songwrite, and everything that he taught me I still use to this day. um, as I gotten older, I was in musical theater. I was also in church choir, so music has always been in my life consistently. And after high school, I actually studied at American Musical Dramatic Academy, and I studied musical theater in Hollywood and in Manhattan, New York.
Wow.
And during that process, the training was very intense. It's shaped me as an artist, and it taught me a lot. But I realized that musical theater wasn't for me, and instead I wanted to become my own artist. So after when I studied in New York, I went back home to Los Angeles, and I just started my music. I started to teach myself how to self-record and get myself into different studio rooms, and find different mentors to help me, shape me, and just help me in the industry. So yeah, that's how I
Yeah,
got started.
you're definitely very lucky, for having like a strong support like that, and like just being able to have somebody that's like almost your uncle, right? Like your to be able
Yeah.
to be a
Yeah.
foundation for your
Yeah.
music career.
Please.
That's very unique. Um,
Yeah.
so listening to you, your music is very unique. Like I feel like you blend a lot of style, giving probably because of your background. So how
Mhm.
would you describe your musical style, and what message do you want to convey through your music?
Yeah, so I call my style rhythmic pop. So you have like the rhythmic side of things, like you have the hi-hats, the drums, the pattern, right? And then you also
Right.
have the element of pop. So I like to call my style rhythmic pop. And I wanted to create timeless music. And I wanted to write music that people could relate to and be able to feel confident when it comes to listening to my music.
Your music is definitely timeless. It's
Thank
definitely you,
you.
definitely unique. I get that. pop in it, and it's really promising for everybody, and everybody can relate. I'm from the Congo, and listening to you, I definitely felt like became a fan right away.
Oh,
So
thank
thank
you.
thank
And
you
and
for
you
that.
know, pop music for me, there's a lot of cheesy pop out there. I
Hmm.
don't like that. I don't like the cheese. So I wanted to bring something else, more like an edge to the pop,
Yeah,
and that's where you get the rhythmic side, the drum patterns as well. I
right.
actually, I did a lot of dancing back in my younger age, and I did a lot of salsa dancing.
Oh, great.
So I was very familiar with the drum patterns, and I've always loved drums. So that's
Yeah,
what you can really hear in my music. That's why I call it rhythmic pop.
I love it. But where I come from, our music is very got a lot of drum, a lot of percussions, a lot of banging on banging on the
Yeah, that's awesome.
banging on the ceilings, if you will.
Mhm,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, we definitely appreciate you sharing that. So let's talk about your upcoming single, which I know you have been working so hard to release, and I know it's coming out on the 5th of next month. What can your fans expect from that release?
Yeah, so I'm excited to share my new single, Bad Bad, with Grammy nominated producer Riley Urich and talented
Bad, bad.
songwriter. Yeah, Bad Bad. This song is more than just a rebellious anthem. It's a celebration of self-empowerment. The bad in the track is not just about recklessness, it's about confidence, it's about freedom and knowing your worth. It's about embracing who you are.
Yeah,
And a it's been a year since I've released anything, and most of my music that you've heard is very romantic and it's lovey-dovey, but I wanted to switch it up and I wanted to bring like a banger, like a bomb. So
hmm.
that's what you're gonna be hearing with Bad Bad.
So, so it's bad. It's super bad.
It's super bad. It's a badass song. I will have to say that. Yes.
We
It's a
can't wait
sweet.
to we can't wait to hear it, definitely. Um, Looking forward to that. So you are taking the independent route, right? I suppose,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
self-releasing your track. So what are some of the key steps that you are taking to ensuring that this single is gonna be a success?
Yeah. So, well, one, consistency, being consistent with your promotion. And for me, I love to have content behind every single song that I produce. I think that's very important when it comes to self promoting. So let's just say, you release a song. Okay, what else do you have backing it, right? So that's
Right.
where I think having the visual side of things to, you're creating a story with the song as well. And I think that's such a key, that's like a key thing for me, is not only am I going to be giving you a song, but I'm also going to be showing you a story as well.
Right. Definitely, because a lot of artists they take those little detail, like I mentioned earlier, for granted, right? And just gonna, wanna do what everybody else is doing, and definitely, I can never tell artists that how important promotion is, and that's
Yeah,
one of one of like the fuel for like boosting an artist's career and like helping them get
absolutely.
that push forward. So thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing that. Um, Thank you for sharing that little insight with us. So another question that I have for you here: many artists they really struggle with self-releasing. What are some
Hmm.
of the challenges you face, and um, how have you overcome those challenges?
That's a great question. For me, I have struggled with being consistent. Now, consistency is key when it comes to being an independent artist. Like, for example, release one song once a year is not going to cut it for the algorithm. And that was something that I was doing, because I understand it's a lot of money to get the song done and then, get the content and then market it, right?
Hmm.
So what I have done is I took a step back and I gave myself a full year and a half just to create my catalog of music. Now I
Right.
have 11 songs ready to go, ready to be released as well. So now I'm able to be consistent and
That that
the internet as well. Mhm.
that is very, very, very important and very, very strategic as far as just being able to give yourself more time to focus on, like, like branding yourself, right? So expanding,
Yeah.
and putting yourself out there. And sometimes our artists don't understand how important it is to keep bringing releases back to back,
Yes.
especially starting out. So you doing that, um taking the time off, and then recording as what 11 songs.
Yes.
You can, that gives you definitely some room to kind of step away from the creative part, and to
Mhm.
just focus on promoting yourself, and which leads to our next question here, which is, beyond the music, you are also building a brand, right? So how
Mhm.
important is it for independent artists to treat their career like a business?
It is very important to treat your brand as a business. I think a lot of creatives out there, they tend to lose the business side. And I think that's because they're not educated and they don't know how to treat, your brand as a business. But that's part of it. And if you're not, it's like, what's the point of doing music if you're not going to treat it as a business, right?
Right, right.
So I think that's so important. And I will say for myself as well, like I did struggle with that and I learned really quick. I actually have a story for this. When I was first starting, I was working with a producer. I will not name his name.
Hmm.
But I was working with a producer and we had a verbal agreement. Okay. That was the start of it, right?
Kind of like, I
So
know you, we know each other, you trust each other,
yeah,
type of
yeah.
deal.
And yeah, and we worked for 2 years together on music, and we
Hmm.
had 17 songs. Okay. So when I was getting ready to self release this music, he flagged my music. He flagged it on Spotify. He flagged it on SoundCloud. And I
Oh
was
wow.
so confused. I was like, what is happening right now? Like, why is my music being flagged? And it happened to be this producer. And what he ended up doing was he bullied me and
Yeah,
said, you have to pay me $2,000 for each
yeah.
track, or else this isn't going to be released. Now,
Wow.
I'm thinking, like, wait, we had a verbal agreement.
Yeah.
That was my mistake. That was my
Yeah.
mistake, but I didn't know, right?
Right.
And that's
Hmm.
where the business side and knowing the business side to the music is so crucial.
Hmm.
And it was, mind you, 2 years, 2 years of my hard work, 17 songs, and I had to get a lawyer involved to help fight for just one track, which
Wow.
is Cold Heart on my Spotify and all social media platforms. I'm not sure if you heard that track, but that was the one song out of the 17 songs that I fought for because that was the one that I believed in the most.
Wow.
So,
So,
you know,
so what happened to the other 16 songs?
they're gone.
They're
They're
gone.
gone. They're gone.
See
They're not
that
mine.
that I really appreciate you sharing that, because that's why I do this. I want artists is to hear stories like you, from somebody like you
Yeah.
who's experienced it, and just to
Yeah.
kind of, like, start figuring out way to put some guards and to put some measure together, even as little as just educating yourself. Because, like me and you were talking before we got on here, we were, like I mentioned, there's a lot of vulnerability and exploitation
Yeah.
in this industry, especially if you don't understand the business. And so we really appreciate you sharing that. So you know moving along, with this conversation. So part of a business is making money, right? So most people want to get in business because they want to get make money. So for artists, when it comes to monetizing your music, what strategies have worked best for you, whether it's streaming, merchandises, live show, or other revenue sources as far as monetizing your music?
Yeah, so I will say that I have not made any money from my music just yet. I've had some money, but all like everything, all the money that I have put into my music,
Right.
I have not seen a return. And I wish someone told me that from the very beginning before starting. Um, don't expect to see money right away because it's not going
Right.
to happen,
Right.
right? Until you step into the professional world or get signed to a record label, right? Where you can get an advance. Um, but you're always going to be marketing and you're always going to be putting back into your project. And eventually I will be seeing money in return once the streams go up, the monetization with the YouTube, all of that will come eventually, but I haven't seen revenue come in just yet, and I'm being very patient. And there is money to be made when it comes to being in the music industry. You just have to be very patient and make sure that your content A1.
It's one of those things like a lot of artists might overlook because of how talented they might be, right? And they
Hmm.
think it's all about their talent, and so they think
Hmm.
having a great voice, like like The Weeknd, you can sing like The Weeknd or Michael Jackson even, and a great voice like that, and somebody. Like even we were just looking at today's music industry. How many times have you heard a song like a major song, and then you're like, wow, that's kind of like, hey, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? And then, but that person is already making money with it. So that's kind of like to show that it's not about talent. Like I always stress, it's about putting yourself out there, building a brand, and keep pushing and keep growing, keep promoting, having strategies like you just mentioned. Like taking a break to focus on the creative part, and then having time to, especially if you don't have a team, um to focus on those little the things that matters, if
Hmm.
that. So yeah, definitely you are on your way to
Yes,
getting
I am.
to getting your money. And one of the way I feel like artists is like, there's got to be like strategies, right, or like having different ideas, but
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I know a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that are in the industry. Like they sell merch. That's a
yeah,
great way to self promote and to get money back. Another way is to songwrite for other people or
right,
putting vocals on the track.
right.
Pay for hire. That has been a way that I've been able to get money for
Also live,
myself.
also live show as well.
Yeah, live shows too. But sometimes you have to pay for tickets. You know
Right, right.
Yeah.
I definitely get that. So with the next section here,
Hmm.
our next question, let's talk about social media, because we done this. We know. Oh, let me go back to my ideas that I had before, just in line with like making money. So I feel like, because I wear a lot of hats. I do everything. Like I also do music. I write music. I produce beats. I do videography. I script write. I wear a lot of hats, and I'm also a DJ as well. And I've been able to make a lot of money from DJing, and
Yeah.
fortunately, I've been able to make a lot of money from DJing, and
Hmm.
that's one way that I feel like artists should really explore that avenue of becoming a DJ artist,
Hmm.
because
Just
not only
utilizing your talents.
right,
Just
right,
utilize.
right,
Hmm.
you don't know exactly, but just in line with talking about, because we talk about money, right? Like
Hmm.
I've been able to make a tons of money as a DJ. Like as an artist, you wouldn't book for that kind of money as if you got booked for a DJ gig, for instance. So my next show that I'm actually doing will be on that. I will be doing a show titled be a DJ artist. And so we talk about one of the important the key point for being a DJ artist is to be able to generate money that you can put back into your business, because I have proof that DJ makes more money than artists is starting out, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
That's
I
very
just
true.
and, and
So
and besides that, if you're a DJ, you get to, if you make your music, you can promote your own music. Say if you are, especially if you are a resident at a club, you can
yeah,
you can promote your own. You can play your music during your set, and
absolutely.
keep growing that way. And then when if you were booked for like a wedding, birthday parties, or corporate event, that's a great way to really promote yourself. So I will be doing a show called be a DJ artist. At
That's
most, especially because, like I say, um, it can be frustrating when you're investing, you're putting out, and then you're not getting the fruits of your labors, right? So
yes.
uh,
I will
that's one of.
say, I do a lot of modeling on the
Hmm.
side,
Uh-huh.
and that's me utilizing my talents, utilizing my face,
Right.
to get paid. And
Right.
so I've been doing a lot of modeling out here in Las Vegas, and that's been very helpful as well, you
Right.
know.
So
So
yeah,
it's
that's one way, because
yeah,
you are, yeah, as an artist, you are a one big brand that can wear
multiple
different.
hats.
Right.
Absolutely. So I can model, I could
Right.
sing, I can songwrite,
You
I
can
can
dance.
dance as
Hmm.
well, you know.
So
But it's also like putting yourself out there and treating yourself, treating your brand as a business, like we've said. So if you're not going out there and, introducing yourself and showing people what you're capable of and what you can bring to the table, like that, I think that's so important.
definitely. Definitely.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. We kind of got sidetracked a little bit, but I feel like it was really important to kind of throw that in there. Um,
Mhm.
so social media, we can't get away from it, right? So
Yeah.
so one question here I had for you is that, so social media is really a big tool, and if you know how to utilize it right, it can take you a long way. So my question here for
Yes.
you is, what platform have been the most effective for you, and how do you engage with your audiences on those platforms?
So I would say my main two platforms would be one, Instagram, and
Mhm.
two, YouTube.
Okay.
Now, Instagram, I'm able to engage with my audience. I'm able to self promote on a daily basis. Like Instagram for me is like my own personal magazine where I can go ahead and post and, interact with my audience and basically direct my fans on Instagram to YouTube. So, and what I use for YouTube is more of like the visual side of my music. So
Mhm.
you're gonna be hearing clips of like different. Um, you're just gonna be hearing different clips of my music on Instagram, and I'm gonna be directing you to my YouTube page so that you can see the full visuals.
Mhm.
I would say Instagram and YouTube is a platform that I use, as well as TikTok. I'll whatever I promote on Instagram, I will also promote on TikTok. Now, there are different agencies and there's different people in the industry that is always looking for new talent, and it's so important to keep yourself up front with the TikTok and the Instagram, constantly promoting yourself. It's a way to self promote, and I think that's so important.
Yeah,
You can't
definitely.
I don't think, some people, they neglect TikTok, but everyone's on TikTok, so why wouldn't
Mhm.
you use TikTok, right?
Right.
So that's the
like
way
like
that I. Mhm.
like for me, I just got on TikTok like toward the end of last year.
Hmm.
And so I'm still figuring out. I'm kind of like, also I feel like some people they are comfortable. If you're comfortable somewhere, like you're familiar with something, you tend to kind of like stick with that one thing that you've known maybe all your life, right? Or one way of doing something. And
Yeah.
if it works, it works. But for
Hmm.
music, I feel like with all the platforms that are out that exist today, you should be under. But me personally, I have a tons of music. I can, if I want to decide to put my music out right now, I can probably put 2 albums. Release 2 albums.
That's
But I don't have any music on the internet at all, because I really, because I preach independence. And this year, actually, I want to start releasing music, because just to go along with my whole brand and everything that I teach, right? And one of the things that I want to do, my music will only be on my website, except for the visuals. Like I will
mm,
have, like I will utilize YouTube for the visual, because YouTube is like the biggest social media platform on the planet, right? And then my music, I plan to release them on my own platform. Like
that's awesome.
I'm skipping the whole Spotify title, everybody else. I know it's like, it sounds crazy, but just breaking it down, as far as like monetizing, I feel like, okay, gi- giving all the numbers that we hear about, oh yeah, Spotify only pays like 0.00 whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
it kind of
Yeah.
it kind of sounds crazy. So I'm like, okay, listen, because I've through my record label, I've have artists that we have songs that are on the platform. So I've used those to kind of like teach myself to see what goes on, as far as like getting the return on your investment. And
Yeah.
like I said, to my surprise, with whatever streams that we've been able to generate with my artists, I can screenshot it right now. It's not the kind of money that you want or you would expect. So
Yes.
uh,
Yeah.
it got me thinking that, like, okay, there is a way where maybe we can, increase the amount of that I'm generating from these platforms, because, well, when you understand that those platforms, you don't own it, so you really don't have no control. So what
Mhm.
if, I self-release, I'm completely independent I create my own platform, like my website, where I can do like a subscription type of
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if, like, just doing the math, even if it's $1 a month, I feel like don't feel like, I know that you can generate way more money than staying on the major platform. Because say, if you've been able to get, if you have a following even of like 100 people on Spotify, if you can move them from Spotify into your own website, um
Yeah.
it could be a more rewarding outcome than just
Absolutely. That's actually
you,
very smart. That's very smart because you're keeping the full dollar for yourself and you're
right,
direct your audience to your website.
to your
And
website, exactly.
it
And that,
makes it more exclusive
right,
as
it
well.
makes it exclusive, and you have the freedom to really be creative as much as you want, and at the end of the day, I feel like it will be more fulfilling to me
Hmm.
to to be like, oh, okay, I am generating 100% of everything that I do. All my efforts is coming back from me. It's coming back to
Hmm.
me, and
Hmm.
it's a hard thing to do, but I feel like it's doable. It's at least to the aspect of um getting a little more than what's given.
Yeah. 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 Because all the distributions out
Right.
there, like, TuneCore,
Yeah.
one of them, like, they just take a huge percentage
Right.
of your royalties, right?
Hmm.
So
So
I'm actually working with Green Tea Distro,
yeah.
and I'll be receiving more money for my streams And so I'm like really looking forward to working with him. And this is going to be my first release with them for Bad Bad.
Hmm.
Um,
And
so
also
I,
just as an advice, maybe having your own website too could be an option to, right, to just be like, oh, start slowly directing your followers towards that.
Mhm.
And I feel like fans today, they want to see that, they can relate, like, as long as it's not some like some people might exaggerate just because, and might exaggerate and like overprice their stuff. It's got to be a realistic um
Yeah,
thing between the consumer and yourself, to where, when somebody, okay, $1 a month, somebody can just sign up, blindly, like sign up for $1 a month. And you think about it, it's a recurring thing. It's a monthly thing where somebody's giving you $1. If you have 100 people, that's $120. That's,
$100. Yeah.
you know how much stream you need from Spotify to get
Oh,
$120.
wow. Crazy. Oh,
so
wow.
so yeah, so keeping up with the conversation here, beside bad for 2025, what else can your friend expect this year? I know you
Yeah.
have
So,
you have stuff, so which is a good thing. It's just a
yeah.
matter of,
So, hmm
picking and
so
choosing.
I have 11 songs. I have
Hmm.
11 songs ready to go. And what you can expect from me in 2025 is I will be releasing 6 singles this year, and I will be releasing the remainder of the singles in 2026. So you're going to be hearing 6 songs from me. You're going to be seeing visuals behind every single song as well. And that's what you're going to be seeing from me in 2025. My goal is to be signed to a record label as well, so that I can get more funding behind my project, because I need a partner.
You
I
got
need
it.
a partner. Yeah,
You can do it. Yeah, you can definitely
I
do it.
will.
I mean, as long as like regular labels, like, I teach independent, but like I say, everybody, you cannot. They have a saying in my language that say, one finger cannot wash the whole face. You need a
Mm,
whole hand, right? So to say, like, we need partners. You can't do it by yourself. So, as long
yeah,
as so long you understand, and that you're not gonna let people use you, and so long that you don't put yourself in a place where you are vulnerable, I am all for that as well.
yeah.
You know.
No, I have a very good team behind me that
Mhm.
watches over me very closely. Like the incident with the producer,
Mhm.
I'm still working with that lawyer,
Yeah.
and he has my back like 110%.
Mhm.
Um, so, and then my manager as well, he's always looking after me. Um, I understand that there are deals out there that are bad,
Yeah.
and I'm aware of that. Again, knowing the business in the industry, right?
Yeah.
So I have a solid team behind me, and I'm very grateful for them. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely, you're one of the lucky ones, because you know not a lot of people can say they have a solid team, because you know everybody kind of look out for themselves, because
yeah.
it's hard to ask somebody to work for free. That's how I like to
I
look at it, right?
know, I know.
Is that what?
It's
Yeah, well,
so
you mind holding the camera for me for how long?
oh,
So.
yeah. So I've actually the people on my team I've worked with for years, we're all growing together, and we're all, moving forward in our crafts. So we're all leveling up at the same time, and we're all representing each other as well. So
That
I'm
is
very
that is
blessed.
great. That is something to never take for granted. Teams are very
No,
important.
yes.
So another question, if for independent, for anybody that's independent watching you right now, what's one piece of advice can you give them about navigating this roller coaster of an industry?
Oh, man. I would say, one, be consistent with your project, and two, be very patient with yourself. I know at times we want to get things out right away, but sometimes that's not the best move, because if you're releasing one song, what is it that you're going to follow up with next, right?
Right.
So, be patient with yourself. Make sure that you're also producing the best work possible. You want to make a statement, right? So make sure that whatever you're releasing, it's going to be good quality,
Yeah.
because you are representing yourself as an artist with every single song that you release. So also, educate yourself. There are books out there that'll help you understand how the industry is broken down when it comes to royalties, splits, um, you know, just understanding like also your sound, like what kind of music do you want to promote, what kind of brand that you want to produce for yourself. And all that takes time. It does take time. So being patient with yourself is key, and also being consistent.
Definitely, I agree. I couldn't agree more with you. Consistency is key. I always mention that on my shows.
Yes,
Consistency is key. So
is
listen,
key.
Bianca, it's been great talking, having this
I know.
conversation with you, and we appreciate you being on here. And we just want to give you an opportunity to just tell people where they can, how they can reach you, how they can find you, and stuff like that. If you have any upcoming shows or 11 songs to look forward to, but just maybe some of your socials. And yeah,
Yeah. Well, first of all, I had a fantastic conversation with you. Thank you for having me on the show. And
likewise.
you can follow me on all social media platforms at Bianca Varela underscore. Um, yeah, you can find me on there. Follow me on Spotify, Apple Music as well. My artist name is Bianca Varela. Last name is spelled Varela. So Bianca Varela.
Yeah, we will definitely be sure to put all of your tags onto this video when we upload it into YouTube and every platform that we're gonna be sharing this video on, and make sure people get to you, because I'm a fan. I'm definitely. It's really hard to please me because there's it's I
Ah,
understand. It's
I'm
really
picky
hard.
too.
Yeah,
I'm picky too.
I'm super picky, especially now where we have a sea of, like, what they say, what 120,000 songs are coming out every
I know.
day,
I
so
know.
it's kind of like it's hard to find that needle in the haystack, and I feel like you are definitely a needle in the haystack, and
Thank
um,
you. Thank you. Actually,
we're
I have a question for you.
yes, go ahead.
How did you find me?
How did I
How did you
find you?
find me?
I'm always looking to find talent. I'm always looking to find people in the industry, and so I think I came across your page on Thread.
Red.
Yeah,
Really?
the Instagram
Wow.
Thread. Yeah, so
Wow.
that's
That's so
because
interesting.
I had just gotten on Thread, so I was spending a lot of time on there trying to, like, to see the different artists, like independent artists on there, and I came across your Thread account, and so yeah, that's how I found you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
See the power of Instagram.
The power of Instagram for sure. And like, I really want you to know that I'm available for you in any way that you would like for me to help. I do a lot of things. If you ever wanted to do, one of the things I want to do this year, here in Austin, because I live in Austin, Texas here, and it's a big music scene out here. So I want to start putting together some shows, bringing together different artists. So that's something that, I might reach out to you maybe in the future and be like, hey, would you want to
Absolutely.
come down here, uh,
Absolutely. I would
and
love to.
give us a show down here in Austin? And I also have different artists that who might see this video and that might want to maybe, what you might call, uh,
Collaborate.
collaborate with you,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
So um,
Absolutely.
I'm definitely sure that will happen, because I know a lot of artists that once they see your profile, they definitely go, "Hey, can we do a remix or something, or featuring, right?"
Oh,
So yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for, again. I cannot thank you enough. Um,
no.
and
Thank you for having me. I
I'm
had such a
looking
great time.
I'm looking forward to bad, and that's not bad like a bad in negative way. It's bad in like a bad, like you bad,
Ass
right?
in a badass way.
Yes, definitely. So thank you so much, Bianca, for responding to us. And we will definitely keep in touch, and we're looking forward to that music. And yeah,
I know.
so
So excited. Thank you for having me.
thank you. Until next time, right?
Okay, I know. Until next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.